Hello, boys and girls. Once again, I'm Mr. Brady.
I'm Mrs. Armstrong.
Okay, and we are so excited to teach you about transitions today. So, transitions really take your writing to a new level. So, it's important that we help our readers to follow our reports when they're reading, from the beginning all the way to the end. So, making sure it's organized well and the use of transition words makes our writing easier to read and more enjoyable. Writers use transition words to help their readers understand the order of the events in their piece. Transition words also help writers to change from one idea to another and to point out evidence. So let's take a look at this mentor text to see if you hear any transition words yourself. The mentor text that you will see today is labeled sloths. Let's take a look at that introduction paragraph. What's very hairy, full of moss, and the slowest moving animal on the earth? Many people know the answer to this question because it isn't a surprise that sloths are tremendously slow. However, there may be a few facts that can be surprising about the sloth. I hope I learn a thing or two here. Sloths can be a little strange in appearance. First, they have extremely hairy bodies to help them with the excessive rainfall that they live within the rainforest. Their long hair helps the rain slide easily off their backs. Another interesting way their hair helps them is it grows algae and fungi. This algae serves a couple of purposes. The sloths can feed it to their babies, and it keeps them camouflaged in the canopy of the rainforest. Sloths also have long claws that curve at the tips. These claws help them climb the tall rainforest trees, hanging on tight as they hang upside down. Also, they can use them as a defense against predators. Again, they are pretty odd in appearance, but each feature serves a purpose.
The tropical and cloud forests of Central America and South America is where these relaxed animals live. They've adapted to this habitat. Sloths have very long arms that allow them to climb high up in the canopy of the forest. Sloths do not exactly walk. In fact, they dig their front claws into the ground and drag their bodies across the rainforest floor if they have to. For this reason, they do not come down from the trees often. It can put them in a dangerous situation with a predator. The only time they do come down from the trees is to go to the bathroom. That's only about once a week. The sloth is mostly safe in the dense jungle it calls home due to its superb camouflage. Since the sloth is so slow, you might wonder what they eat. Sloths are omnivores, which means they eat plants and animals. Although it is rare for them to eat animals, they have been known to eat insects or an occasional rodent. Most of the time, sloths will eat leaves, buds, or twigs. They do not receive much energy from their leafy diets, and this is why they seem so sluggish, sleeping 15 to 18 hours a day. The sloth's body temperature is low, and so is their metabolism, which keeps their food and water need low as well. As you can see, there is a lot more to a sloth than its slow and leisurely pace.
Wow, I really love the expert words that I heard in that piece. Omnivores is a word I'm not too familiar with. So today what you're going to do is you're going to be working on page 15 in your informational report writing notebook. Mrs. Armstrong and you will be working on listing some wonderful transition words. But before we do that, let's take a look at this mentor text. Are there any transition words that you see? Exactly, I see about 4 or 5. So one that stuck out to me is the word first. It's a very simple transition word, but it lets the reader know what you're going to discuss at the very beginning. Some other words that I saw that are great transition words are the word again. I also like the one that says in fact in this sentence here. And my favorite way to wrap up a conclusion is I can't stand when I hear in conclusion because it's so boring. There's so many ways you can wrap up your writing, and this is just one of them. As you can see, it's a great way to wrap up your thoughts. Let's take a look at page 15 in your writing notebook.
Okay, so 15 looks a lot like this. It says transitions, and so let me get this the right way, blah, 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 blah. These are all the things that we know so far are great things to have in our informational report. Okay, so now we have transitions. There are different types of transitions. There's transitions that show the order of things happening. Those are called sequence transitions. Mr. Brady pointed one of them out. First, next, then, before, later, after that, immediately, finally, eventually. And then there's transitions that show that we're about to list some evidence for what we're saying. So that would be, for example, for instance, such as an example. Then there's some transitions that continue an idea. So I'm going to keep talking about the same ideas, but I want to have some transitions in there. So I might say the words also, and, again, another, in addition. And then last, we can use transitions to show that we're changing ideas, like although, but, yet, still, rather, however, nevertheless, on the other hand. And this trips kids up sometimes. They don't know exactly where to use these. And I just want to point out in the mentor text, the author used although to show that, listen to the sentence, although it is rare for them to eat animals, they have been known to eat insects or an occasional rodent. So the author is saying, like, usually they don't eat animals, but sometimes they do, and they have been known to do that before. So here are your transitions. You must, absolutely must, pause this video and copy these transitions in your chart. This is going to be an excellent resource for you to look back on when we're in those final days and we're checking off our rubric to make sure we have everything. This lists lots of different transitions that you could include to make sure you fulfill your transition quota in your informational report. Let us know if you need any help with this.